Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Vinyl Den After Hours. My name is Nick.
And I'm Mandy.
Joined once again by my lovely and talented wife. We got a nice little show put together today. We're going to play a couple of games.
All right.
And then our topic today is, I figured you're a big fan of, pop music, and
Yeah.
I guess I am to a certain level also. So I figured today we talk about some of the best voices in pop music history.
Okay.
There's a bunch of links down below. You got links for the Vinyl Den Facebook group, for the merch page, for the Spotify and Apple Music playlist that I put together every week, and the Patreon page. So make sure you check all that out. Like always, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new episodes. But before we get to that, Mandy, are you sad now that summertime is now over?
I am miserable.
So this episode comes out the second week in September. So it's September 14th, I think, when this episode comes out, right?
Yeah.
No, today's the
15th.
It'll be the 11th. I'm sorry, the 11th, because it comes out on Wednesday. So
Gotcha.
this episode will be out September 11th. So yeah, we've moved on past summertime. You're back at work. The kids are back at school. Yeah. What was your favorite thing that we did this summer?
Ooh. I don't know. We didn't do a whole lot. And I liked that this summer. I thought it was nice.
Yeah.
I didn't feel rushed. I didn't feel like I had to save money for a vacation, we tried planning a gazillion things, but having 3 kids that work and that are in sports and in college, it's impossible. So
yeah, schedules made it very hard.
Yeah, we did an escape room. We did that. That was fun. I always love those. But I just love sitting by the pool,
just hanging out.
Yep, listening to my music.
I guess we didn't really do a whole lot. Like you said, we had a bunch of stuff planned, but for one reason or another, the kids' work schedules make it really hard now that all 3 of the kids are working. And then, our youngest, he's in football. So we had football summer camp, going on. So it's just hard to plan stuff. But we did go to Florida in the spring, but I guess that was our trip, I guess, instead of going on the summer.
Yeah.
On a summer trip, I guess.
We'll do that again next year because it'll be Reese's senior break.
Yeah.
So she wants to do Disney or Universal. So gotta start planning
so
that.
She's probably going to go with her friends and not go with us.
I asked her because that's the fair warning. You either go with your friends or we can do something as a family. And I'm totally great with you going with your friends. That's what spring break's supposed to be. So
yeah.
But I don't think she.
Well, we talked about maybe doing a cruise too, but
she real quick.
Did she?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if she doesn't like the idea of being trapped somewhere, like she can't get away. And it literally is just sun and water, and she really doesn't like either of those things.
Yeah, she doesn't like the heat.
No.
That's why she always talks about wanting to move further up north to get away with. So you're going to move to Canada to get away from the heat, though. I mean, it gets hot in parts of Canada too, but I don't know. I like the heat. My favorite thing to do is, to be on a beach next to the ocean. It's my favorite thing to do, but maybe we'll get to do that next year.
Maybe.
But I don't know. In a weird way, I'm kind of glad summer is over because I know you're not, because I haven't worked days in years. I haven't worked a day shift since 2017, I think. Spring of 2017. I've been on, either like evenings or nights since then. So I was kind of looking forward to, I know this isn't going to sound really good, but I was kind of looking forward to waking up in the morning, everyone's gone, you got the whole house to yourself for the entire day. I mean, I had that part of the time with my old schedule, but I'm up out of bed by I wake up at 11. I'm get out of bed till noon. The kids are home by 2:30, so it's really only a couple hours to get stuff done. But it's kind of nice to wake up in the morning and take a shower, come out, do your own thing,
all day.
Have all day. It's kind of nice. So and I went to a day. I started my day schedule right at the beginning of summer. So the kids, when I went to days, the kids were already out of school, so I didn't really get So it's definitely interesting. It's different, I guess.
Yeah.
But I was kind of looking forward to having some nice quiet days. But even though the kids aren't terribly loud, except for Sean when he's playing his video games.
Yeah.
You know, other than him playing video games, they're typically not very loud.
Nope.
But I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see how that. I might end up going back to my old schedule, but I wanted to. So I meant to ask you this last week when we were recording, but I want to know what's some stuff that you've been listening to lately, Mandy. What's some music that you've been checking out?
You know me, always up to date on everything.
I know that.
I honestly haven't put down Taylor Swift's Tortured Poet Department since it came out. Like literally, every time I get in my car, I play it, and I'm like, "Aren't you sick of this yet?" But I'm not. Every time I feel something different, and then I feel happy and angry and sad, and just like, I don't know, I love it.
It's kind of a weird album because, and I haven't listened to it a whole lot, but like I don't know, I thought some of the songs were okay. I thought it was an okay album when I listened to it, and maybe I just need to let it grow on me a little bit more. But I don't think you were a big fan of it either when it first came out.
I did not like it the first few times I listened to it. But like I said, the more I got into it, then it felt more like a story that I was understanding. And then I got into her, because normally she's, a lot of upbeat things or like the poppy kind of whatever, but this didn't feel like that. So it took a minute, but it's good.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm sure it is a good album but the funny thing is, like, a lot of other people have been saying the same thing. Like, they weren't a huge fan of it when they first started listening to it, but it's grown to be one of their favorite albums. So you're definitely not alone there.
100%.
But I think I've only listened to it, I think 2, maybe 3 times. I don't know. I haven't listened to, and she released the whole like extended, like the anthology. I don't think I've listened to any of those tracks either.
No.
So
those are great too.
Because you figure when I listen to it, I don't listen to it on my phone. I listen to the record because I've got it on vinyl. So when I do listen to it, that's how I listen to it. So, I don't really stream when I'm in the house. I don't really stream a lot of music. It's very rare.
That's
like only if like, I know, but it's because you don't like mess with my record players. When I'm at home, the only time I really stream anything is if it's like, and I don't stay up late anymore because I'm on a day schedule. But with my old schedule, it was pretty routine for me to be up till 2 or 3 or later in the morning. So after everyone's like gone to bed, I put headphones on and stream whatever while I'm like working in my office. But like now that I'm on a day schedule, I pretty much have cut most of that out. So if I'm at home, I'm either listening to records or CDs. So that's why I haven't listened to the extra tracks on there. But I know the new Post Malone album, F1 Trillion, is the same way.
Yeah.
So he released like a standard version of it. And then there's a long bed version with like an extra like 15 or 20 tracks.
Oh my word.
So, and I haven't listened to the extra tracks yet either. I listened to the regular album several times. I've got that on vinyl too. But because one of my big issues with the album is he's got like these features on every single track. I think there's only 2 songs on the entire album he doesn't have somebody else singing. And it's like this almost like repetitive kind of formula where Post Malone will do, the intro, the first verse, and then the chorus, and then the feature will do the second verse. That's like pretty much how they do every single one of the songs on the album. And it's like, I don't know, it kind of bothers me that it's not mixed up a little bit more than that. And I think he mismanaged a lot of the features on the album. But the 2 songs where he doesn't have a feature are really good songs. And then I guess the whole long bed version, all the extra tracks are just Post Malone. He doesn't have any features, I guess, on those. So I do need to go back and listen to those, because I know a lot of people have said the same thing about those too. They were like some of the best songs on the new album he left off of the standard version. So
maybe that was intentional.
Yeah, it might have been. I think there were so many features on there, I think, because I don't know if it was like him trying to show that he's legitimate in country music, because it's like all the biggest names in country music are on his album, whether it's Dolly Parton, Tim McGraw, Jelly Roll, all the there's new and old country artists on there. So I don't know if if he's like has them on there, like I said, just to like show that he's legitimate or he's authentic, which I don't. At times it does kind of play like that, but I don't know. And then he does this whole other like section of the album where it's just him. And from what I've read and what I've been told, that's the better part of the album. So I don't know. I do need to stream it and check the rest of it out.
Yeah. I think he's just having fun. Maybe he got on a roll, like asking people to sing with him, and he was like, "Well, why not? They want to sing with me too." And then he's the only person to have like, what is it, a number one record? I don't remember. Gosh, I should have paid attention for rap. It's like pop, country, and rock or something that he has some kind of title in. I had to look it up. I can't remember.
He does have the record for the most diamond singles.
Okay.
So I think he's had, I don't know. I don't even want to guess how many.
Sure.
He released an entire like compilation album. It's called the Diamond Collection with all of his diamond singles on there. So
that's crazy.
And I think he's got a couple more since he released that compilation last year. So, he's a great artist. I love a lot of his music. And I don't know if it's just like the whole country vibe. It just doesn't stick with me. I don't know. There's a couple of good tracks on there. It's, I'll definitely stream it a few more times, but it's not anywhere close to my favorite album of the year for sure so far. And I think, I guess maybe if he would have taken all those songs and maybe we'll shuffle them up a little bit more and put some of the features on the log bed version and then some of the more tracks with just him on the standard version, maybe I'd feel a little bit differently about it. Yeah. But, he's somebody that's always dabbled in country music, even from before he was famous.
Yeah.
The first time anyone knew of Post Malone, he was doing YouTube videos of just covers, and he's from Texas. He grew up listening to country music. His parents listened to, his mom listened to like outlaw country and stuff like that. So it's definitely been an influence on him. So what have you, anything else you've been listening to lately? Other than your summer playlist. Your summer poolside mixed.
I did put together a playlist of 90s and 2000s for whenever I have my little family get together. My cousins and I, all of us wanted to have our little hip hop R&B session, but I haven't been listening to that too much. I kind of got burned out, I think, from making it and listening to it so much. Gosh, I really don't think I've been listening to anything else. I can't think of anything that's like.
I know every time I like walk through the house, you got Taylor Swift playing on the on the HomePod in the living room. So I know you listen to a lot of that. I've been listening to, so Blink-182 is releasing an extended version of their album One More Time, which came out last year. They're releasing an extended version of it that's coming out digitally. It comes out, I think. Well, by the time this episode comes out, it'll be on. I think it's September. I think it's the Friday before this episode airs will be the release date for the extended version, and then they're releasing it on vinyl in January. So of course I've already got a pre-order, so I've been listening to, because there's a couple of those tracks that they've already released so far. So I've been listening to that a little bit. We're seeing Green Day here. Well, once again, by the time this episode airs, we will have already seen Green Day. But so I've been listening to a lot of Green Day, also listening to a lot of Blink because we saw Blink. I've been trying to listen to more Rise Against also because we'll be seeing them here pretty shortly also. So, it's just been I've been trying to get away from listening to a lot of punk music because I listen to a shitload of punk music. It's like, I would say 90% of the music I listen to is punk related, I would say, or punk adjacent. So I've been trying to get away from listening to some older stuff lately too. I've been listening to some Beatles, listening to some Led Zeppelin also, but it's been a varied last couple of weeks for me. But I don't know. I like I said, I meant to talk about that last time. I forgot all about it. You want to play some games, Mandy?
Of course.
All right. What do you want? Do you want to start? We're going to play the Billboard 200, the Back in Time Billboard 200 game, and the Family Feud game. Which one would you like to play first?
Billboard.
All right. So last week we did the Billboard 200 from the year we started dating, which was 1999. So today we're going to do the Billboard 200 for the week of, so this comes out on September 11th. So it'll be the week of it's actually the week of September 14th, 2002, the year we got married. So we're going to go back in time to 2002, Mandy. Can you name me the number one album for that week. The week of September 14th.
2002. Was it a Britney Spears song?
Well, it's an album.
Oh.
Billboard 200 is an album, but
yeah.
No, it was not Britney Spears.
Okay.
It was. They are females.
Dixie Chicks? No, that would have been early. Is it?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
It's Home by Dixie Chicks debuted at number 1 that week. That was pretty good. See, I didn't need to give you too much help.
Nope.
The Eminem Show by Eminem was number 2, which is a great album. I think it's probably, I think the Marshall Mathers LP people typically hold up as his best album. I probably would too. But the Eminem Show, I think, was the album where I finally started listening to Eminem, because there was so much backlash against Eminem early in his career that I don't know if it was because, how popular it was. I just didn't want to fucking listen to it. So I think when this album came out, it was when I finally started listening to it. I was like, oh, he's actually got some really good music. And that's also when I realized that the public persona of like Slim Shady that Eminem has is, it's all just like a gag. It's just a persona. It's a made up character that he plays on these albums. And because there was a lot of backlash about some of the content on his first couple of albums. And then when you realize that that's not really Marshall Mathers, that's not really how it's just a character that he plays on these albums. That's when I was like, oh, okay. So it's not as bad as I initially thought. I still listen to that album pretty regularly. But Let Go by Avril Lavigne was number 3. Nellyville was number 4.
Say Nelly. That's funny.
Yeah. he was definitely that only been out for 10 weeks at that point. The week before, it was still number 2. It was down to number 4 for this week. A Rush of Blood to the Head by Coldplay, which is number 5. Which Coldplay is one of those bands where I thought their first 2 albums were pretty good, and then pretty much everything after that, it seemed like they tried to take the hits that they had off their first 2 albums. I feel like they tried to create entire albums like that after this album came out. But I love their first 2 albums. I got their first 2 albums on vinyl, and I've streamed some of their stuff that they've released since then. And just, I don't think it's anywhere close to the quality of those first couple of albums. Evolution by Eve, which I don't know that album was at 6. Do you know that album? For sure you do.
Probably,
but,
yeah.
The Rising by Bruce Springsteen was number 7, which Bruce Springsteen is another one of those artists I was never really into. Of course, I listened to Born in the USA, Born to Run, those some couple of those earlier albums every once in a while, but it wasn't until I'd say probably within the last 5 or 6 years I started getting into some of Bruce's huge chart topping albums, and I don't think I've ever listened to The Rising. Yeah. Then you get October Road by James Taylor at 8. Lord Willin by is it Clips?
How do you spell it?
I've never heard of that album. Is it number 9? And then you got Now 10 at number 10. But it's a decent top 10. There's definitely some good albums in there. Some albums that I definitely listened to a lot back in those days. But Home by Dixie Chicks, I don't think. I mean, I know you had it on CD, but I don't remember listening to that. You used to always listen to Wide Open Spaces.
That was about it.
Was about there. But Home was the album where they were on tour, and they said some unflattering things about about President George Bush, and was basically exiled from country music.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that's the top 10 for the Billboard 200 that week. I'm not going to go through all the lists because there's too many. I feel like it gets kind of repetitive once I start going down through that list. But I don't know. That's kind of a flashback in time. You did a good job. You picked you got the first album.
Thanks. We'll see how the next one goes.
All right. So we did last week. You did the Family Feud game. We did Taylor Swift. Yep. You did pretty good with it. You got 3 out of 10, which I think is pretty good. It's better than what Ian does with some of these. But
I got more just after my exes.
Yeah, after you got your 3 X's, after you got your 3 X's.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do another band that you're pretty familiar with their music.
Okay.
And that is the Beach Boys.
Oh, okay.
So the top 10 most popular songs according to Spotify by the Beach Boys. Mandy, throw some out there.
Okay. Good Vibrations?
Good Vibration is number 4 with 433 million streams.
Surfing USA?
Oh, Surfing USA is number 2 with
Ooh.
357 million streams.
All right.
And by the way, Mandy is not cheating because Mandy doesn't have Spotify on her phone.
Very true.
You don't have a Spotify account at all. So
Yep. I don't even.
I saw you looking to the side. I don't want people to think, oh, she's cheating. She's not.
No. I have something in my eye. It's been bothering me this whole time. But about fun.
Fun is number 10 with 51 million streams.
All right. God, what would be number 1 then? Well, I was singing Little Deuce Coupe. Was that on there?
Little Deuce Coupe is your first X, Mandy. It is. It is not in the top 10.
All right. What about? I said Good Vibrations, didn't I?
Yep.
That
is number 1. That is the number 1 song. 577 million streams.
Love it.
So you got 4 so far. You got 1, 2, 4, and 10.
California Dreamin'? Is that what? Wait, California. Yeah.
What is it?
California Dreamin'.
California. Okay, that's not on there, but
Girls?
So that's your second X. California Girls is.
Okay.
That's number 8.
All right.
You got 1 X left, Mandy.
Oh no, then I can't say this one.
Some other big ones. You're missing some really big ones.
I know. My brain doesn't work when I'm on whatever this. What about? No, that's a good one though. But
what?
I was gonna say In My Room. I love that one.
In My Room is not on the top 10.
Be. Did I say Barbara Ann? No, I was getting ready
to,
and you said something and interrupted me.
Oh my gosh. Barbara Ann is number 9.
Okay.
So Wouldn't It Be Nice is number 1. Surfing USA is number 2. Number 3. I'm trying to think if I can give you a clue.
Okay.
Down In.
Oh, I forgot Surfing Safari. Be True to Your School. What else did I?
Surfing Safari
Help
is
me,
not.
Rhonda.
Kokomo is number 3, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was trying to get to. Kokomo was number 3. Good Vibrations, which you got, was at number 4. Number 5 is a song off of Pet Sounds, which I know you're not a big fan of Pet Sounds. Pet Sounds was a different kind of album for the Beach Boys. It was, I think it was what, like late 60s when that album came out. So it was definitely had a little bit more of at times kind of a psychedelic kind of mixture vibe in some of their music on there. It was definitely a different album. I think it's their best album, but
really,
oh yeah, and Pet Sounds was a hugely influential album. Definitely influenced a lot of bands in the late 60s, early 70s also. God Only Knows off of Pet Sounds is number 5.
I don't think I know that one.
Good song. I Get Around is number 6.
Yes, I know it.
I Get Around is number 6.
From town to town.
Number 7 is Don't Worry Baby. Do I know that song?
Don't worry, baby.
Oh yeah, I know that
song.
Worry, so that's number 7. Then you got 8 was California Girls, 9 was Barbara Ann, and then 10 was Fun. You did really good. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 6 of them.
Nice.
You got 6 out of 10.
Nice.
So that's good.
And if I had like 2 more X's, I probably could have got at least 2 more.
Oh yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I was close.
But I don't know. It's a tough game to play because
there's so
even if
many songs.
Well, that, and if you don't know like the names of the songs, it's hard to kind of figure. And Ian was even having problems when we played this last couple of times too, because it's like there's these big, huge songs, but if you don't listen to them, or if you don't listen to them, or they're overplayed, so you kind of forget about them, it's kind of hard to kind of pull that back and use that as a guess. But I don't know, it's fun. It's a fun little game to play. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I had them still fresh on my mind from our last show because we did the pool party songs, and so when I was kind of like researching my pool party stuff, I got sucked into Beach Boys. So I got lucky.
Yeah. The I don't know. I guess the other thing I was going to talk about was, I don't know. I know you're not a big Oasis fan, but they recently announced their a reunion. They're only doing shows, I think, in the UK, England, and I think Ireland. I think or that area over there is the only place they're doing shows. I don't think it's going to happen. Like,
really,
they absolutely hate each other. They can't even be in the same room. They both did interviews within the last 2 years where they said that Oasis would never get back together. They would never have a reunion, and now they've announced one.
Wow.
So
aren't they
I'm
brothers?
sure they're going to charge. Yeah,
how can you hate your brothers?
I'm sure they're going to charge. They're going to charge a boatload of money for those tickets, and I can see like this is what's going to happen. They're either going to, before the tour even happens, they'll get pissed off at each other and call the whole damn thing off and have to refund all this money, or they're going to start this tour, realize they can't be in a fucking room together, and after a couple of shows, they'll call the whole rest of the damn thing off. So I don't see them making it through it.
No, I thought I had heard they had already sold out, but maybe that was something else I was thinking of.
Oh no, they're what do you mean, like sold out the tour? They might have.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah, they might have. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, obviously, it's something. I mean, they haven't. I don't even remember when the last year was that they were together, but it's been a very long time.
Yeah.
And fans have been calling for them to have a reunion. I mean, shit, your brothers, get it together.
Right.
But it's something they've struggled with, even in the 90s when they were releasing, Definitely Maybe and What's the Story, Morning Glory, 2 huge albums. They were having fights and shit back then and couldn't keep it all together. So it was they remind me a lot of the Robinson Brothers from the Black Crowes, because they're another group where I never thought that they would ever in a million years get back together, and then they did. They just released a new album. I think it was earlier this year they released their new album. So it can happen. I might be wrong, but I don't see this tour going off very well for them. But hopefully they do. Hopefully they go through. I'd love to see them tour the U.S. because I'd love to see them. But I think it's one of those things where this is probably, if they do put like a bigger tour together, it'll probably be the last time they do it, at least last time for a very long time. But that's not what we came to talk about today, Mandy, though. We're talking about great pop vocalists, right? Because you're a singer. I'd say you're a rather accomplished singer. You sang all through college. You sang with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. You recorded a song in a recording studio in Nashville, which was really fun.
That was really fun.
And I will say that it's available on SoundCloud if you want to listen to Mandy sing. Just search her on SoundCloud.
Should we tell
What's
them
that? It is a Taylor Swift song. I will say that what year was that? Was that 2009?
I was still working at CYCS, so yeah, because it was either 9 or 10. Did I have Sean yet? It was before I had Sean. Okay, it was either 9 or 10.
So yeah, I think it was 2009 because it was like before she was like this gigantic star. Because I think it was right around that time. It wasn't too long before, maybe a year before that. Somebody you worked with was in the mall in Nashville with their daughter, and
Whole
Taylor
Foods.
Swift was like, "Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
Whole
it's
Foods?
just Whole Foods right next door to our church."
you tell the story, Mandy, because I don't, more. I mean, obviously you heard the story firsthand, but
well, I mean, where I worked was literally where all the famous people hung out. I mean, Tim and Faith, they went to this little, Mexican hole in the wall place right there. Across the street was always Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman getting their drinks. So it was natural to run into people out that way. But yeah, my friend was with her daughter. I think it was Whole Foods. And Taylor just came up to them and she was like, "Can I please hold your daughter?" And my friend's like, yeah. She's like, "Can I take a picture?" Right. And she was just, it's such a cute little picture. But yeah, Taylor looks like she was, probably 20 at that.
Probably something like that. Yeah, she was young still then, but I don't know. It's she can hold me. Can she hold me?
Right. Well, that was when we went to the I hope I haven't told this story. The vet. I had taken my dog in who used to have seizures, and I'm sitting there watching this man getting pulled by his like English bulldog, and I'm like, "Dude, get control of your dog." And I look up, and it's like freaking Josh Turner, and I was like, whoa. And he's in Murfreesboro. And then I look on the wall and see he's got signed pictures. I was like, oh my gosh. I was sitting here like, dude, get control.
That was the interesting thing. And a lot of musicians have talked about that too, where that's why they like and love living in that area, because they can just go out and be normal people and people just leave them alone. I remember one of my friends was down in Nashville. This is years before we moved down there, but he was down on vacation down there. I think he was visiting some family or visiting friends down there. Like he said, he's just walking down the street in Nashville, and Kenny Rogers was just like passed him on the sidewalk, just walking down the street,
cool.
Just minding their own business down there. And yeah, people leave people alone down there. It's a lot of musicians say it's very different than California, where you get mobbed by people.
I can't imagine.
And you'd think in California it'd be everyday life, because there's so many fucking famous people out there, but it's not. They, obviously you're getting mobbed by paparazzi and all this shit out there, where that none of that happens in Nashville.
Yeah.
You're just a normal person living your life. Everyone and their cousin knows somebody down there. I remember a guy I worked with, because when we first moved to Tennessee, I was working at Lowe's down there. And one of the guys I worked with there, he grew up, it's on the northeast, just outside of Nashville, like the northeast part, just like northeast of town. And Johnny Cash lived right down the street from him. He like grew up playing with Johnny Cash's son, and like everyone has stories like that down there. I mean, Kid Rock was building a house down the street from us when we lived down there. So it was very, very different. What was I even talking about? Oh, that was just introducing the year that you sing. Jesus, that's
we
quite the
went
segue
really
there.
far. I still have more too. I was like, ooh, let's keep going.
Oh, no, you got more? Go ahead.
No, just when you were talking about how everybody is just kind of cool about it. I remember when we had, so I taught out in Green Hills, and I had a couple girls out there that were the nieces of somebody famous, and she was coming to say hello to her nieces while she was in town visiting. And I remember we kind of like got a little low-key phone call, and it was just like, she's coming in the building, everybody just stay in your rooms, don't be stupid. And we wouldn't have anyway, but she was her niece was in my room at that time, and I thought I was gonna be fine. I was like, this is cool, I got this. And as soon as she walked through that door, my heart got so heavy and like thumped. And she was like, hi. And I was like, I don't even know if I said hi. I think I tried. I don't know if anything came out, but I was trying to play it cool, but my heart was like, nope.
Yeah,
this is real.
That's
she
funny.
may or may not be, our daughter may not, or may be named after her.
Yeah. I can neither confirm nor deny that our daughter might be named after her. Yeah, that's funny. And we had our daughter obviously long before that. But I'm just glad you weren't like, hey, my daughter's named after you.
That would have been awkward.
That would have been even creepy.
Yeah,
that'd have been really creepy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, like I said, everyone's got a story like that down there. Everyone runs into somebody. Everyone lives by somebody. It's just natural.
Yep.
And I don't know. I've never really gotten. I guess I always say I would never get starstruck. I guess I've never like met anyone that I like have ever like been in awe of. I mean, I've met athletes before. I've met people that are famous, but not like meeting somebody like that, or meeting like Taylor Swift. I don't know. Taylor Swift did wave at me though, but when we saw her, she wasn't waving at anyone else. It was just directly at me. Yeah, just me.
Yep.
But so anyway, great pop voices, Mandy. What throw some great ones out there. I want to talk about this because, like I said, you're a vocalist and you listen to a lot of pop music, and I guess so do I, but not as much as you.
No, I can say so. I did some research because I wanted to think about what I was doing this time. Brian Wilson, of course. He's somebody that has perfect pitch. I looked up a few of those, so be ready.
Yeah.
And you'll know who it is before, because they literally are the best singers. Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. They all have perfect
Whitney's like
pitch.
As soon as I think of like great vocalists, like there's two to come to mind. One is Whitney Houston, and the other one is Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Those two are like the top, I think. You can't beat Mariah Carey in range.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I'm pretty sure she holds the record for the biggest vocal range for a musician.
I can see that.
Yeah. Aretha Franklin. I would put Aretha Franklin out there too.
Yep,
That's
she's on
another
my
great
list
one.
too. Yep. I broke
The
my list
the
down into boy bands, girl
yeah.
singers, boy singers. I had girl bands, and then I had like bands that have like mostly all boys and one girl, but
Yeah.
they're mixed genre there.
Someone I think I would put up there, even though see, pop is kind of a loose term,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like some of their, I mean, they're a rock band, but they also have some poppy stuff too. I would put Freddie Mercury on there.
I did too.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Okay, well,
Yep. Yep.
I thought that was kind of an out of the box kind of pick, but I guess not
No.
because you got him on there.
Yeah. I also
But,
had Billy Joel and Elton John. I think both of them are pretty good.
yeah, I would definitely put them up there too. They're It's funny though because when I think like, I don't know why, but when I think pop singers, I don't know why I always think females.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I really, like I said, I really don't know why that is because there's great male pop singers too. Like
Well,
like you just said, I mean, Elton John, I'll definitely put on
yeah.
there.
I guess in your mind too, because I was trying to figure out, is that pop or is that some kind of rock that they call it, you know? So like you said, I mean, my list for girls is twice as long as the other ones, like you said, but I think a lot of the boys too might be in bands. So there's just more than one person in there. Let's see, who else did I have on there? Oh, well,
What's that?
I had Elvis, but I feel like that's pretty obvious. Like it's just,
Yeah, I mean, that's Elvis, man. I don't know. Elvis is, he's known as like the king of rock and roll, but he did so many things outside of the rock genre, especially like in the late '60s through the end of his career. Well, yeah, I would definitely put him in the pop category for sure. But because he did like a lot of ballads, a lot of gospel music also. Elvis did. So yeah, I would definitely put him up there. I think that he's somebody that people either like love or hate Elvis. Of course I love Elvis. I've been listening to Elvis music since I was a child, but he's somebody that I think is really kind of underrated when it comes to his performances, like his on-stage performances. There's lots of videos on YouTube from his stuff from like the early part of the 70s where he was just there's nobody that can match him as far as performance wise goes. So
I watched him obviously long after he died, but we were up at your grandparents' house and it was Thanksgiving. And it was like a rerun show of one of his concerts, and it was all up close. And my heart was like thump thump thump. I'm like, Mandy, this freaking TV. Like he had me. I was like sucked into it. Reese did too, though. She watched him one time on TV, and she's Elvis. And
yeah,
I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, he does that to you.
You can throw some others out there before I don't have a very long list, so.
Well, mine, I guess I wasn't thinking the best. I was just thinking pop stars that I like kind of thing.
Yeah.
I did have, well, Celine Dion. I think obviously she's another one of those with perfect pitch, perfect voice. I put Madonna on there. I don't necessarily like her singing. It was always her
there's persona that she had.
Yes. And that's what I liked growing up, but I wasn't a fan of her actual.
As far as like actual like vocal, her vocals, I think worked for what she did. You know, and I think that especially I'd say earlier in her career, I think she was a very good singer. But I think she was kind of an underrated singer actually, in probably a lot of ways. That she probably didn't get the credit she deserved. But as she's gotten on in years, I don't think she's anywhere close to what she used to be.
Right.
I would throw out Adele as far as like 21st century musicians go. She's got this great like rich voice that I think a lot of other vocalists, over the last 25 years can't match. I would put her. I think as far as like quality of vocalists, it's her. I mean, I'll probably put Amy Winehouse on there too, even though she's not anywhere close to the level of Adele. Her vocals really match that like that smoky bluesy kind of style that she had.
I think if you're thinking like up there, like Mariah, Whitney, Adele, and it might Kelly Clarkson. She can sing anything, and like her voice
Yeah.
is amazing. She's another one of those like the screamer, but it's like perfect. It sounds good. It's not like she just gets so high in her chest voice, and it floors me.
Yeah. That's somebody I didn't think of. That's somebody else that I think is probably, not. I think she's underrated also as a vocalist. Of course, earlier in her career with
American Idol.
American Idol, and all that. She was huge there for a good couple of years, and then I think what was it, Breakaway was her second or third album where she kind of had moved a little more towards rock, had some more rocky stuff on there, and then I don't know. I feel like her career kind of tapered off a little bit after that for a while. Obviously, she's back now.
Mm-hmm.
She released a big album a couple of years ago, and of course, she still does a talk show and everything too, right?
Oh yeah.
So it kind of keeps her, it keeps her in the I guess the mainstream's focus, I guess, a little more than she did there for a little while, but.
And she'll have people on and she'll sing their songs, and it's like, oh, you shouldn't have did that. She sounds so much better than some of them.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
She's one of those musicians. There's some singers that you always say, don't sing those songs, or you want to stay away from, like
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston is one of them. Like, don't sing Whitney Houston songs because you're gonna sound like garbage.
Yeah.
She's somebody that can.
Yeah.
And she does really well with those songs. So yeah, I would definitely put her on a list up there also. Stevie Wonder is another one that I would say is very underrated.
Yeah.
As far as, Stevie Wonder, I think, is one of the greatest American musicians ever. The guy, he can play like 75 different instruments. I remember when he recorded, several of those songs of the Key of Life. I think he played every single instrument on that album.
That's crazy.
Prince is the same way. When Prince, his first album, For You, which is, when people think Prince, they think of like Purple Rain and like a lot of the like really super poppy stuff that he did. But his first album, For You, definitely had this really strong like, R&B bluesy vibe to it. He played every instrument on that album also, and I love that album. That's my favorite Prince album, and it's hands down an album that I can listen to that album all the time. And yeah, his vocals on that and through everything else in his career, he has a very distinct voice. And I don't think he has a great range, but what he does, it's hard to match.
Right. Stevie Wonder also has perfect pitch.
I think a lot of really big musicians do, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe. That was it though that I found on the list that was real good. Ella Fitzgerald, I think, was on there.
Yeah, I can say, I don't know. I don't. Honestly, it might sound bad, but I don't know if I've ever listened to more than 2 or 3 Ella Fitzgerald songs. Yeah. Someone else that I think is kind of underrated that you don't really think of, and I would put her on the list because of kind of the raw power of her voice, is Tina Turner. And that's something that probably, like I said, I don't think people think of right away when you think of great vocalists, great pop vocalists. Earlier in her career, also with Ike, she did a lot of those poppy songs, and she absolutely kills it. And she's I definitely think she's one of the best ones out there.
I'll stir up some stuff. I was just sitting here thinking in my head because I would have never put Taylor Swift on. I hate to talk about her again, guys. Sorry, but on like the best vocalist. But if you listen, and probably where everybody got stuck was in the beginning, and they're like, "Oh, I hate it," or haven't listened to her since. But if you listen to her songs on this last album, her range, I have been practicing every single day to get my voice as low as hers. So I don't know.
She's got great range.
She has, I don't think she did. I think she's trained over time and had enough, coaches that have taught her how to, but it's helped her so much. Cause like I said, I never would have said, I mean, she's got a great voice. Obviously she makes money, but I wouldn't have said a really great voice until now. Because I was just blown away, and they're screaming notes too, like Kelly Clarkson kind of thing. I'm like, how do you do this?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, I definitely agree on off of the Torture Pose department. She definitely has, she showcases more of a range than I think she has on any other album in her career. And of course, like earlier in her career, to be a country singer, you don't need to have great range. You just need to be able to sing, right? And so I think it was definitely something as she's moved from country to pop that she has definitely worked on over the last, 10, 15 years, I think.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So on the Vinyl Den, Ian can't go through an episode without bringing up either Alice Cooper or Jethro Tull. I'm pretty sure Mandy is going to be the same way. Every single episode, Taylor Swift is going to come up at some point during the conversation.
I don't want to be like that, though. I have to pick new topics.
It is what it is. You got any other ones on your list? Because there's still one big one that I need to bring up.
Maybe it's the one I have on mine, but I'll let you bring it up just in case.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I
think
perfect pitch too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Michael Jackson's one of those people that I think is one of the more distinct voices in pop music over the last 40 years. Yeah, I mean, yeah. He's instantly recognizable. Like you say, he's got perfect pitch. He's, songs like a song like Man in the Mirror is, I think, kind of a song that really kind of, what's that?
That's my favorite.
Oh yeah, it kind of really showcased. Billie Jean is another song really showcased how good of a singer he was. But he's somebody that was taught to sing from the age of 5 years old. So, I think it's one of those things where I think people can have someone like Taylor Swift, somebody that has, a good voice. I think with the right instructor, with the right teachers, the people helping them, hone their skill, they can create. I think sometimes, I don't want to make this sound like somebody that like, oh, you could be taught to be a great singer, because you can't be taught. I don't think you can. No. You can't be taught to be a great singer. But with the right people, you can. A really good singer can be a great singer. I think. It's probably the best way I was trying to put it. But and I think Michael Jackson kind of falls in that category. Whereas somebody like Mariah Carey, I think she was more like right out of the box. She had that kind of range.
Raw talent.
Yeah, she definitely had that raw talent.
So what do you think about Billie Eilish? I cannot sing her songs. Her songs are so hard for me to sing because they're just so pure and like they're difficult. I can't explain it. Like I can sing everybody else's song and it sounds fine, but when I sing her song, I cannot do it. I don't know if that means she's got a great voice or she knows what to do with it. Or...
I think she definitely has a unique voice. And I didn't think she never. So I listened to her first album. I was never a fan of it. And then what was her Happier Than Ever? It was her second album. I was really impressed with that album. I thought she did a really great job on there. I think she had grown as a singer from her first album. And then I listened to the new album. I wasn't as big of a fan of her new album, but you're right. She definitely has a very unique sound. She is a good singer, I think, also. As far as like her generation of singers go, I would definitely put her on that list.
Yeah. Yeah. That last song from the Barbie movie, What Was I Made For? Or oh my God.
I forgot about that. I still haven't seen that movie, by the way.
We can watch it.
I need to see it. I haven't watched that or Oppenheimer either. So
that's really good.
It's like I don't know if it was because all the hype behind those movies.
It's worth it,
they're both available on streaming. I can watch them anytime, but I don't know.
Guess what we're doing tonight?
Not watching the Barbie movie.
Come on, guys. Message him. Tell him he has to spend time with his wife watching Oppenheimer.
I don't know. You got any other ones to throw out there, Mandy?
Let me look through my little list here. I have the Beatles, but I don't know that the Beatles are like a good voice. They're just they're catchy. They get me. I listen. Yeah. It's just kind of.
I think they're an example of. I think they're better singers together than they were apart.
Yeah.
It's kind of the best way I can look at them.
I did have Christina Aguilera.
Okay. That's another good
voice.
one.
Yeah. Crazy big voice that. Again, that shout and sing thing that she does is pretty good.
Yeah, I would definitely put her. As far as like 90s, early 2000s singers go, I'd probably put her high up that list. I guess it was early 2000s. I don't think she was. Her first album came out in, I think, 2000. So yeah. So early 2000s singers, I'd definitely put her up high on that list.
What about like Ed Sheeran?
He's somebody I've tried to listen to him. I don't know.
I love his music.
He's got a good voice. Yeah. I don't know if he's a great singer though. Okay.
How does he sell? Like he sold out more than Taylor Swift. Like what does he do that? Does he put narcotics in his song too?
He has Eminem show up on stage in Detroit.
Oh, I was so mad. I
I
was
know.
so mad.
I know, because I thought about going to that
I
concert
wanted to
too.
go.
Then,
I asked you. He doesn't like going to concerts of people that I like, but I'll go to all his
That's not
concerts.
true. That's
Name
not
one.
true.
Name one.
I was going to go to Usher with you.
You were gonna go?
Well, yeah, because now your sister's going to go with you.
That was like a couple weeks ago by the time this comes out, isn't it?
Yeah, and then
it comes out after.
I was going to see J-Lo with you. I bought the tickets to go see J-Lo.
Keep going. What else were you going to go see with me?
TLC. We were going to see TLC last year.
What have we seen?
That didn't happen.
What have we seen? That's mine.
Buy tickets. I'll go with you.
You know what? I'll take that back. You came to Taylor Swift, and that was more of a mine thing than yours, so I'll give you that one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. She put on a hell of a show, though. Not to talk more about
Taylor Swift.
People have already turned this episode off.
I know. Way back in the beginning.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
They heard tit and they just click.
Well, they didn't hear Jethro Tull, so at least there's
That's
that.
true. That's true. That's true.
Gotta balance it out.
No Jethro Tull in this episode.
Nope.
Except for we're just talking about Jethro Tull.
God, first time I saw that, when Ian would play that video, it just creeped me the heck out. I was like, what is this? Sitting on
what
a
video was that?
Bench,
Oh, yeah.
snot running down his nose.
Yeah, that's. I know you're not a Jethro Tull fan at all.
I'm not a fan of that kind of music at all.
Yeah.
I don't think I like
I don't know. I think you like some of it.
Of what?
You like some 70s rock.
Ooh.
Don't you?
Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
You like some Alice Cooper.
I like School's Out for Summer, but that's about it. Because our son.
You know, like Dead Babies? Dead Babies is a great song.
I don't know that one. I mean, I probably do.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. I know you've heard it before, but I don't know. Get any other great pop singers you want to throw out there before we wrap this thing up?
No, I don't think so. I think that was. I mean, there's always some good ones, but not like great.
I'm sure there's some big ones we're forgetting, but I don't know. Drop us a comment down below. Let us know what some of your favorite pop singers are of the last 50, 60 years, because there's a whole list of them. I mean, we could have went on and on, I'm sure. But any questions or comments, you can email us at Mandy. What's the email address? thevinyldenchannel@gmail.com.
What I was gonna say.
If you're watching this on YouTube, give us the old thumbs up. All that YouTube-y kind of stuff. That's all we got. Until next time. Talk to you later. Peace.